joining us this episode. This is the season finale of Season 1 of Screaming Eagles Airsoft 101. Next season will begin in January. So I'm going to give you a brief after-action report of what happened on September 29th, Operation Arc Infected. At first we thought it was going to be a pickup game because of the rain, but enough people showed up where we actually tried to pull off the op. And it actually turned out pretty interesting. It turned out completely unexpected of what was intended. So, I'll give you a brief overview on that. And that's it. First of all, it was zombies versus humans. The zombies could shoot the humans, and then they'd have a 3-minute bleed out, and if they touched a human during that 3-minute bleed out, they became a zombie. But if the medic from the humans got the person, it'd be different. So, started out with 3 zombies versus like 17 humans, and then it just evolved into that. And eventually there were 5 zombies and a few other 15 humans, I guess, or something like that. But this portion of the map's cut off, and so is a little bit of this, but that's not a big deal. I'll show you what we got and show you a little overview. Okay, first started out pretty simple. Let's see if this thing's working. Okay, we started out controlling the barn. We set up a small perimeter at the barn. Zombies were up here. We had to set up a small patrol this way, about 3 people. We lost 1 guy there. Then they came back. And then we sent a small expeditionary force to right there. We sent a small expeditionary force to right there. They didn't have no luck either. I tried to divide this game up into a territories type system of where each individual section is a territory. So we tried to coordinate off that way, like this is a territory, this is a territory, this is a territory, and that's a territory. So it was divided off into that kind of sections, southern territory, southwestern, southeastern, northern, central, or east, west, central, whatever. But we decided to go off that coordination or whatever, but we sent that patrol up there. They had no joy, so we kept on sending that defensive force right there. And then I sent a small detachment to the sanctuary right here. And from the sanctuary right there, we set up a line roughly like that. Like that. Yeah. So we had like a little defensive line right there. Pretty soon, they started getting hammered even harder, and we started to get even hammered. So we headed to fall back, and pretty much we had a defensive line like this. We had 1 guy right here, kept on trying to get him out of there. We tried mountain rescue operations. We were just getting so much pressure from right here we could not effectively send another person without getting shot. He got shot, and we had to retreat and do a mass exodus all the way around there. We tried to set up a defensive perimeter like this, so we were expecting them to come up through that way. But me and XO Morgan Elliott decided we should set up an ambush in these pine trees right here in thick brush cover. And they all came up right here, and they stopped about right here, and we fire lined right on them. But once we didn't hit, they ran off because it just wasn't effective, I guess. But since they only kneeled for 30 seconds and they could get right back up, we had to get out of there as soon as possible, because as soon as they got back in, they were going to shoot. So we moved from that location and we set up a perimeter right here. And for that portion of the game, we pretty much just waited for them to do anything, which they didn't do anything. They had problems or whatever, so a gun broke, and they were just figuring out what to do and all that stuff. So then we set up, then Jack came up to me and said, figure out a way to cure him. You got to capture a zombie and get him to the barn right here. So we sent out a recon team right here to try and entice the infected to come into this area right here so that our hunter-killer teams could isolate one, pick them off, and then take them back. Actually, it worked, not exactly that way, but it worked. Recon team picked off one, they captured him, we sent him back to our group, and then we did a pretty nice 3-way retreat of where we had 3 sections, and then the first section had the zombie, and they were going that way. My section was covering them, and in the third section we were covering them, and they were covering us at the same time. So they got down all the way to the barn, while we got to the sanctuary, and then Morgan's section came all the way up behind right here, and then we regrouped with them in the pretty much at the second session. We had the doctor was stuck at the barn, surrounded by a horde of zombies. Pretty much the whole second session was us doing a siege type warfare. So we started out right here, and they had defensive perimeters set up like this, and we send in one force this way, and I send another force in all the way around here this way. That didn't pan out too well because they were too dug in. But we did get ourselves a little bit of a zombie. We rescued one of the zombies because we got the cure this time. And then my team, command team, organized right here, while I sent a 2-man recon team over here, and Morgan's team sent 2 2-man recons over down here. We coordinated defense, and then finally we were able just to push them on this hill hard enough of where we were able to get like within feet, like up to 10. We were like 20 feet away from them, and by that time Morgan finally closed in. We closed the pincer movement, took him out, cured all the zombies, except for one Squirrel who was out in the bushes somewhere. You know, we didn't know where the heck he was. You know, kudos to Squirrel for staying hidden so long. So we all hope you enjoyed this interaction report. We won't see y'all till January. Probably mid-January is when Season 2 is going to start. We're going to have an episode maybe 1 to 2 times a month. And that's it. So thank you for tuning in for this episode of Screaming Eagles Airsoft 101. We'll see you all in January for Season 2 premiere. I hope you enjoyed this first season, right?
We need like 500 FPS sniper rifles or something, just pick them off.
Air confirmation on 1, 2.
There's one down there behind that now.
Yeah, but I don't want to stretch this too far. No unnecessary risks.
Somebody got hit.
Any of y'all got hit? 2 zombies down. Alright, roger that. Squirrel's still moving forward.